This is the knowledge mobilization output of the movement analysis for group project for KIN 294. We will be doing a video with voiceovers and photos to demonstrate analysis. My name is Haad, and this is project presented by Alexa, Meghan, Gabriel, and me. For this presentation, we will begin with the introduction, description, conceptual analysis, discussion, and then conclusion. These are the objectives of our conceptual analysis. First, we want to demonstrate the use of movement, concepts, and principles in our high jump, takeoff, and football throw. As well, we want to gain deeper understanding of the movement to provide practical coaching advice to the athletes.
And this is our introduction. Our movement skills include two movements. First, from category A, we have an overhand football throw. Next, in category B, we have a high jump takeoff. Our category A movement skill is manipulating an object that is external through the football. The high jump takeoff is our category B movement skill, as it includes a body movement and mastering the control of the body, and does not involve an external object that is being manipulated. So for the overhand football throw, we have two movement concepts, P6 and D2. P6 is utilizing a follow through, and D2 is keeping the eyes on the target at the point of release. Our movement principle is fluid resistance, which is drag that is created as the ball travels through the air. The facts of the movement include first, keeping the eyes on the target, and next, finishing the throw across the body, which increases the follow through. Next, we have the high jump takeoff. So we have two movement concepts for this one, P4 and D1. So P4 is that prior to release or prior to contact or release, the body is set in motion and is stabilized at the point of contact or release. In D1, we are applying force in relation to the center of gravity to create or prevent spin. The movement principle is Newton's third law, that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The facts of the movement include first, swinging the arms back and forth during takeoff, next, leading with the knee to generate force and keep the hips closest to the bar to rotate the body over the bar, and three, after takeoff to push the lower body up before reaching the bar. Next, we have our description. As previously stated, these are the facts of the movement. In the top photo, we see his eyes being fixated on the spot that he wants the ball to travel to, and thus ensuring accuracy. As well, fact 2 is seen in the bottom photo, and his arm would even swing further downwards to finish across the body and down from the spot that the ball was thrown from. Both a quick throw release and great accuracy are the main goals of the football throw, which can be done with proper technique, muscular control, and quick force generation. This would mean that the thrower will not have ample time to do a long windup or a long running step sequence, so these are not highlighted in the football throw. When someone throws a football, they should have a wide, stable stance in order to maintain accuracy, engage their trunk and hip flexors to help them rotate as they follow through and release the ball in a spiral on its longitudinal axis. This keeps it from wobbling in the air. A forward pass includes any pass with an intentional movement forward with their hand, but if the ball is lost during the arm recocking or when gathering the ball to the body, the throw is then a fumble. This contributes to why speed of throwing is important for the athletes. However, a forward pass is not legal when the thrower's body and ball are past the line of scrimmage during release. As previously mentioned, these are the facts of our movement. Fact 1 is clearly seen if we compare the photo on the left to the right, as the arms are used to help drive the body upwards. In the photo on the right, we see the knee generating force and the hips closest to the bar location, which would be on the left in that scenario. The main objective of the high jump approach is to get the body in a position to clear the high jump bar, which is done through a gain in momentum in the jump approach. High jump athletes must only take off from one foot when beginning their jump and must take off in the takeoff zone, which adds a certain restriction to this movement. When completing a high jump, the athlete leads with their knee and hip closest to the bar as they leave the ground. This starts a rotation that lets the rest of the body clear cleanly. After takeoff, the lower body is pushed up before reaching the bar. The first segment to cross is the head, then the torso and hips, then a kick of the legs to avoid clipping the bar on the way down.
The next portion is our conceptual analysis. Now we need to talk about how these concepts are applied in these movements. So in regards to the football throw, we first talk about concept P6, which involves an effective and complete follow through when throwing, allowing for the most amount of force/power possible. When passing a football, the goal is to get the ball to the receiver quickly. Following through ensures all muscular energy is used in force production, rather than some of it slowing down your arm. In this context, a good follow through involves the throwing arm continuing to swing after the ball is released. Next is concept D2, which involves keeping your eyes on target at the point of release to maintain accuracy. In the context of throwing a football, the thrower might look directly at the receiver's hands. They might look to where the receiver is going to run if they're in motion, or wherever else they would want the ball to go. At the professional level, you'll see the quarterback's eyes look towards open space when they throw, knowing where their receivers are planning to run. When throws are missed, it's often because the quarterback was not looking at the right spot to where the receiver would be. The next part is fluid resistance. When throwing a football, the thrower is looking to minimize fluid/wind resistance to ensure that their pass goes the correct distance. In this scenario, the fluid that is present is the air or wind. If wind is strong, throwers need to utilize gyroscopic stability to keep their throws accurate. To do this, the ball is thrown spiraling along its horizontal axis, which ensures the ball doesn't spin off to one side. When discussing the high jump takeoff, we first look at concept P4, which involves stabilizing body segments at point of release after being in motion. When talking about the high jump, the jumper runs up at a J angle, generating angular momentum they'll use to clear the bar after they jump. As they jump, the athlete will stabilize their trunk, core, hip flexors, and leg stabilizing muscles to create a stable body position while still angled. We'll do this with just one leg and use the other to add more angular momentum to rotate as they clear the bar. By only using one leg for support, we're able to keep the angular momentum without wasting muscular power on the jump, generating it there. Next is concept D1, which is about applying force in relation to an object's center of gravity to add or prevent spin. In high jump, spinning around the center of gravity is desirable in order to jump higher. Athletes will start their rotation at takeoff, using their sole takeoff leg combined with the angular momentum from their J-style run-up to spin after takeoff. While in the air, they'll maneuver all of their body parts to keep their rotation going, but keeping their center of gravity under the bar helps them to spin fast enough while staying in control of their motion. The principle here is Newton's third law, which states that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. High jumpers use this when they take off by pushing down on the ground to jump. When you jump, you push down on the ground pushes you back, which lifts you up in the air. In high jump, the non-rotating leg is pushed down into the ground, and the more force they're able to put into the ground, the more it will give back and the higher the jumper will go.
Awesome. Now we're on to our discussion. Discussion. So we're going to compare the application of this and similarities and differences between the two skills. So to start off, we're going to talk about fluid resistance. Both movements need to account for fluid resistance to optimize performance. In the football throw, the spiral minimizes drag, ensuring the ball stays on its path. In the high jump, minimizing air resistance helps maintain a streamlined posture, reducing drag while in the air. For body stabilization and control, both skills require critical moments of body stabilization. In the football throw, the quarterback stabilizes their body and arm at the point of release to ensure an accurate pass. In the high jump, the jumper stabilizes their core and trunk and limbs to ensure optimal force production and to maintain control during a flight. The differences between the two skills, object manipulation versus body manipulation. The football throw is all about controlling an external object, the ball. The thrower controls its trajectory, spin, and speed to make a successful pass. In contrast, the high jump is about body control and manipulation, using momentum and force to clear the bar without any external objects except manipulating your body. For the follow through and trajectory, in the football throw, the follow through is important for ensuring enough power and accuracy, but it doesn't directly affect the ball's path after release. On the other hand, in the high jump, the follow through, the body's rotation and adjustments directly impacts the jumper's success in clearing the bar. The way they manage their body in the air is crucial. While both movements share common principles like fluid resistance and body stabilization, their focus is quite different. Awesome. And just to conclude, we're just going to do a little project summary of our findings. So after comparing the two movements, we'll look at their biomechanical components and the physics involved, focusing on movement concepts and principles. For the football throw, category A, this movement involves manipulating an external object, the ball. Athletes needs to control the trajectory and velocity of the ball in order to have key success in accurate release of the ball. By minimizing drag and focusing on fluid resistance, the quarterback controls the trajectory and spin of the ball, and accuracy is key to a successful throw. For the high jump takeoff, category B, this involves the athlete's body control and force generation to clear a bar. By focusing on body mechanics, particularly in force generation and stabilization, there is no external object manipulated, so it's a category B movement. The primary goal here is to clear a bar by applying force and mastering body control with minimal involvement of external objects or opposing forces. For the football throw movement concept P6, you focus on grip and ball release for accuracy. The throw involves precise control over the football. The quarterback must master the grip, release, and follow through to achieve accuracy and speed. Before takeoff, and movement concept D2, awareness of how the ball's trajectory is affected by release. Fluid resistance is key. The spiral minimizes air drag, increasing accuracy and range. The quarterback needs awareness of the ball's center of gravity. This helps adjust the throw and ensures the ball follows a spiral, enhancing its accuracy and trajectory. For the high jump takeoff, movement concept P4, stabilizing the body during takeoff for controlled upward motion. The run-up is key here, and the athlete's trunk, core, and leg stabilizers need to engage for balance and form. For movement concept D1, correct position to direct force upwards. This allows the jumper to manipulate their body position to ensure their center of gravity stays below the bar. They use momentum from the run-up to rotate and clear the bar, leveraging natural body rotation instead of relying purely on strength. For Newton's third law, by pushing against the ground to generate an equal and opposite force that helps to propel the jumper upward. The jumper pushes off the ground with their legs, and the ground pushes back with equal force, propelling them. For the football throw, techniques involved is essential for fast and accurate passes. The spin of the ball is crucial for accuracy and to allow the quarterback to get the ball where they want it to be. Techniques for the high jump takeoff, the run-up generates momentum, and stabilizing the body at takeoff is essential for a vertical lift. Awesome. Thanks for listening to our presentation.